Hello, good morning. Oh no, it's not morning now. It's I'm a bit late on that one. It's good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's about 2:30, I think, on this lovely, lovely real Monday morning, as all mornings are in sunny Rill, of course. Not so sunny today. Well, there's a good bit of sunshine coming through, but it's a little bit cloudy. Supposed to have light showers and things. And yeah, I was supposed to be out today, this morning. This is the start of the second week already of campaigning for the local elections, and obviously I'm a candidate, the only independent candidate, not Labour, not Conservative, for the area in the rural southwest. So yes, I was going to just be on my own again, as you may know from watching my videos from last week when I was out and about. So my plan was to be out today, but I've spent all morning, had to make a list this morning of things I needed to do else I'd forget, because there are people that had asked me for help with things over the weekend. So I was making sure that I did those this morning first thing, and then things I needed to do for myself, and as far as my own health and everything, and that all continuing, and trying to get back on track. But yes, I was going to be out. If you're on Sisson Street, if you're in the flats next to the Undertakers on Sisson Street, all along there, I was hoping to be there this morning with you, posting me little leaflets and hopefully speaking to a few people if you're up and about. But I just can't do it today. I'm absolutely exhausted. Even though yesterday, Sunday, I spent, after last week, I thought I'm going to need a day to recoup. So I did almost nothing yesterday. I didn't go out. I just sort of, lounged about in my slippers, watching a bit of telly for once and all of that, and taking it easy. Eating enough for once, because I forget, to be honest. So I was hoping today, yeah, I'd be raring to go and full of energy, but I'm not. I'm still not feeling great, actually, and still exhausted from last week. I think 'cause I really pushed myself last week. I probably pushed myself probably more than I should have, to be honest. But anything worth doing, I've learnt after all these years, comes at a bit of a cost, doesn't it? Usually to your health, unfortunately. Temporarily, hopefully, nothing more than that. But so anyway, I'm hoping I've got to do something tomorrow, so that means I can't do anything out and about tomorrow. But I'm hoping Wednesday I will becoming or be able to come over to around the corner to Sisson Street and a few other places very close to me, and give you one of my leaflets and maybe have a chat if you fancy a chat. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video, because I thought I can't get out, so I'll have a bit of a chat with you, tell you what's going on, what should have been going on before I have my little power nap. Power nap. It's not a nap. It's a power nap. It's just 15-30 minutes where I have a power nap. Okay, not a nap. Power nap. Which apparently are very good things to have. They're good for you. Apparently, having a little bit of a 10, 15 minute, 30 minute, if you can afford to, time wise, rest in the midday, mid afternoon is very good. It aids productivity, apparently. I know some companies used to do it in the past and still do. Some of the bigger ones, like Google was a famous one, wasn't it? I think in the 90s, I think it was Google or Microsoft used to do it. I don't know if they still do. So yes, that's what was supposed to be going on today. And like I say, hopefully I'll see you, if you're in the area, around the area, on Wednesday morning, midday-ish, maybe in the afternoon. I'm planning to be at the side ramp of Morrison's again this coming Saturday. and I should be a bit more visible because I'm trying to get me banner and everything sort of sorted, and me paste table and all that sort of stuff. So you should be, if you're walking by, you know, walking into Morrison's and that on the side of that, please do stop and say hello, because I'd love to have a chat with you. Even if you're not going to vote or whatever, that's about. I always enjoy talking to all of you, anyone that wants to talk and stop and talk. If you're driving past, give me a wave. I'll give you a wave and a thumbs up. Yes, if the weather's good on Saturday, always barring the weather, of course. If the weather's good, which I hope it is, I'll be there probably about again midday-ish, lunchtime-ish, for an hour or so. However long I can stand there without getting a lot of pain after standing in the same spot for a long time. But yeah, weather now, isn't it? It's last week was so cold. I think that's partly why I'm so shattered, because I was out in freezing wind, and then I was up at the college on Friday morning, letting the students know that they were able to vote for the first time ever, to my knowledge, if they'd like to in the local elections, and to register to vote if they want to vote. So I was up there nice and early, and it was even colder. It was even colder by the brickie, standing by the brickie on the way, trying to catch people on the way to the college as they went in. And I think that's really been the sort of temporary haymaker for me at the minute. But anyway, I will be there. Now, I've heard the weather's going to get a bit better. I really hope so. At least I don't even mind if it's not warmer. I don't need place. I don't want place in here. I'm very. You can see I'm very pale. I'm very English. I'm not used to. I don't go hot places and things because I know it wouldn't be. I wouldn't like it, and it wouldn't be good for me. So unlike everyone I know who's going off to, obviously for the first chance I've had in 2 years, off to a couple of days or weekend away in sort of Mallorca or Spain or Tenerife or what's the other one, Malta, places like that. Completely understand, but I've never done that just because, well, first of all, I couldn't afford to. I've never been able to afford to. I only got my first passport ever. When was that? About 3 years ago, 4 years ago, in the hope that I could. But then once I got the passport and all the palaver trying to do that, I then haven't had money since to go anywhere. So again, I wouldn't be going there because I'm sure they're lovely, but I know I couldn't take the heat, to be honest, with the sun. So I don't need sunshine and things like that, but I hope it's not going to be as cold as it's been. I mean, our heating's always on because it's so cold, isn't it? I mean, we're in an old terrace house, as many of you will be in this part of the ward. And I don't know about you, but our windows and doors and roof just useless, absolutely useless. Freezing in winter because everything just comes straight through all the gaps in the windows and doors and roof. They're not there's not much use. And then of course in summertime when you have the heat waves, just soaks up all the heat, and then it weirdly can't escape for some reason. I've never worked that one out how that happens, but it's always about sort of 10 to 15 degrees, or feels about 10 to 15 degrees hotter in the house than it does if you step out the back door. So that's one of the problems with I suppose low quality housing, which a lot of us of course have grown up in and still have to live in. One of the reasons why I'm trying to do this, because I'd like to do my bit to try and sort that out if possible, because obviously that's a huge issue as well, isn't it, for a lot of people. I was thinking this morning, because I know in France they're having their presidential elections at the minute, and I noticed last night that it seems to be, because they have sort of knockout rounds, so they have the first round of voting where they whittle down the contestants, I suppose you want to call them, down to sort of has like a semi-final and then a final. So it looks like I don't know if you know these, but I watch a lot. Obviously, I do a lot of watching of politics and world events and things. I know a lot of people don't have time to do that or want to. Typically, I'm a bit sad like that, to be honest. But I noticed that Macron, the current president, uh, is being has Marine Le Pen right on his heels, as it was last time in the French presidential elections. Um, and then a chap called Mélenchon was third. Now, Macron is sort of like a French politically is a sort of like a French version of Tony Blair, David Cameron, that sort of thing, sort of new Labour, but for France, Marine Le Pen is, if you watch the BBC, they call her far right. Actually, there's candidates and parties which are much further right wing than her, far further right than her politically. But she's to the right of, no, is she to the right of Macron and all those sorts of people on policies? On a lot of policies, no, actually. They call her far right, but actually a lot of the policies they've put in front of people in France are actually to the left. Actually are aimed at normal working people to help them. Isn't that a shocker? It'd be nice if that happened here, wouldn't it? Really. That's how skewed and weird it's all got. So anyway, she's garnered much more support than people thought she was going to. I'm not surprised because, as I say, the policies are actually, for someone billed as far right, are actually connecting with people, ordinary people who need some of the stuff that she's promising to give them, basically. And then obviously Mélenchon is the sort of your classic. I think he's a ex-member of the Communist Party of France, which was huge back in the 70s, 80s, even into the 90s. So he's sort of the remnants of all that sort of the what they call the far left, I suppose. Now, so that's all been interesting. It struck me. I thought, I know that's a national scale in France, and obviously we've got local elections here, but it sort of denoted something that, or highlighted something that I've known really for a while and seen going on for a while here, locally and nationally, which is that I don't think most people, I certainly don't, maybe you don't, I don't think most people now really care about left, right, really care about Labour versus Conservatives, or, you used to have the staunch Labour voters and the staunch Tory voters and all that, the two camps and that, when elections came around and things. But I think that's, if it's not already virtually gone in most people's minds, I think it's certainly on its way out. How much, I don't know. But I think most people don't really care about that sort of stuff, party policies. People aren't flocking to join parties, are they? Quite the opposite. Parties are struggling to get people to join them at all, unlike in the past, the last century or whatever. People aren't interested. People just want someone or people or candidates, whatever, that are going to do the job, who are going to help ordinary working people, that are more like them. They don't want your sort of typical party politician, because, well, I don't mean too funny. Where's it got us? This is my opinion. Where's it got us? Decades and decades of Labour or Conservative, one or the other. You get one time, you get the other the next time, and so on and so on. Well, where are we now? Where have we ended up? We've got a Prime Minister who, was visiting, what's his name, Zelensky, secretly, until obviously the cameras got there for the photo ops, in Ukraine. When was that? Was that on Friday or something? In Kiev, and then obviously promising him another £150 million worth of military aid. So £150 million worth of £150 million of your money, your taxes, to say, well, oh, fine, whatever your opinions are on the Ukraine-Russia thing, that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is how come Johnson, the Prime Minister that's supposed to be sorting things out here in this country for people now facing probably the biggest cost of living crisis in a century or more, food, fuel, electric, gas, transport, all of that to get to work and all of that. Instead of doing that, he's spending his time giving other countries your money, our money. And there's always apparently enough money. There's always 150 million here and 300 million of aid to give to this country or that country. Yet apparently there's not 150 million without debate, without any questions, without any sort of talk about it. There's no 150 million to dump into helping you and me and the rest of us pay for the sudden rise in cost of living, is there? Why is that? Do you ever think that? Do you ever ask yourselves that? I think about that. Why? If there's money to give to other people to help them continue wars and conflicts in countries that we're not living in. Johnson's not the Prime Minister of, he's the Prime Minister of this country. Same with Starmer and Labour. He is the opposition and possibly one day Prime Minister in this country. Why aren't they focusing on this country and you and me and what we need? For me, that's the question. And I think that's why most people have not only given up on politics, given up on voting. Those that are still voting, I just don't think. I think they see through. People are not stupid, despite what Labour and the Conservatives think. People are not stupid. People know when they're being fed. Well, you know what I'm going to say. Comes out of a cow, or a bull, more accurately. People know when they're being fed that, and it just seems to be look over here, look over there. Don't think about or look about what's happening to you and about to happen to you, and don't ask us to do anything about it because we're not going to. Which is a choice, because as I say, apparently there's money to give to other countries in military aid to whatever amount you want or they want to do like that. But where is it for you to help you feed your kids, heat your house, get a house? Where is it? Get rid of all these food banks that have popped up like new saplings all over the country in the past 10 years. Where's all the money like that for that? And again, I'm not talking just about Johnson and the Tories. I'm talking about Starmer and Labour as well. In my opinion, they're, again, going to be a bit crude here, and someone else, they're two cheeks of the same stinking, disgusting backside, as far as I'm concerned. You may feel differently. I suspect many of you who aren't in parties or political probably feel pretty much like I do. So anyway, there you go. Bit of controversy for you there, maybe. Good to have a little bit of an argument and a bit of a controversy. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. I always like reading your comments. Even if you don't agree, let me know what you think. And I will see you out and about, hopefully soon, in a few days. So take care for now. Look after yourselves, and don't let the you-know-whats grind you down.